your trusted source for outdoor information and entertainment. The Greenway Outdoors is also an internationally syndicated TV show and conservation advocate aimed at bringing millennials and Generation Z into the outdoors. Welcome to the Greenway Outdoors.
Obviously.
Hello and welcome to episode 52 of the Greenway Outdoors podcast, which makes a full year. I'm Kyle.
I'm Jeff.
I'm AJ. I'm Ryan.
Okay, Jeff, the fact that you decided to wear a Santa hat with bells on it during a podcast is not
What are you
surprising.
talking about?
Ryan, do not chew in that.
What?
Ryan, we'll lose people for that. Stop chewing in the mic. Ryan's eating candy
Dead
in
air.
the microphone to make it. What was our goal here? Let's do whatever we can to make us the least. Stop it.
Everyone's
It's Christmas season, baby.
Stares or speak.
What can we do to make sure nobody wants to listen to us?
I love those J-I-N. No.
I like the Christmas guys, the annoying ones, Jeff and Ryan, are dressed and acting the way that they are, and then AJ and I went full Hawaii.
Yeah, we
went full Hawaii.
We're doing something.
Yeah, so we collaborated. You guys didn't.
I texted. I was the first person to text in the group chat this morning. I'm dressing Christmassy. I got told to shut up.
Yeah, that's all Jeffrey said back was. He goes,
No one cares.
Yeah, he goes, just so you know, I'm going to dress Christmassy today in the group text, and all Jeff says back was, no one cares, and then sent 3 gifts making fun of Ryan.
It was SpongeBob doing this with the rainbow, and it says, no one cares.
So, very supportive group.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, Christmas is super important because we're celebrating the birth of Jesus. But beyond that, I would also like to celebrate, this is a good transition, the birth of season 4 of the Greenway Outdoors.
Touche.
Because there will be a premiere party, and that premiere party is going to be January 3rd. It's in Brighton, Michigan at the 242 Church. We invite you to join us for an awesome wild game dinner featuring an elk carving station, venison meatballs, rabbit, squirrel gravy, all kinds of food. All kinds, all wild game, all tasty. And what we're going to be doing is having the wild game dinner, a red carpet there so you can get your picture taken when you come in looking all fly. Jeff, please take the hat off. You can also, all we hear is the bells, man.
You can stuff it.
You're
in here.
ruining my
I can't.
promo.
Oh, you know what? I can. I can stuff it in there.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
Yeah, or we can just shut off this one. You guys want to just shut off this mic for the day? But on top of the red carpet, walk in, get your picture taken.
Nice.
We're going to have wild boar sliders for hors d'oeuvres, which is probably what I'm most excited about. There's going to be a bunch of booths there. NRM Streamcast will actually have a booth there. Carbon TV will have a booth there. Sportsman Channel.
To be clear, booth, not booze. I thought you said booze.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, you're in the Christmas spirit.
I just kind of in the spirit.
Yeah, no, but a booth, and that booth will have awesome prize giveaways. Sportsman Alliance will have a booth. They're giving away a giant Yeti cooler. Carbon TV is giving away a big Traeger grill. There's going to be some really cool prizes there. It doesn't cost anything to win any prizes. You just show up, walk around, talk to the people, and you get entered in the drawing. It's pretty cool. There's going to be about 6 or 7 big drawings. On top of that, the dinner's going to be fantastic. Then you get to go into this beautiful theater. Mr. Bill Putman from Meet the Putmans on TLC is going to give an awesome keynote speech. We paid him well, so he should say some really nice things about us. So that'll help.
You'd hope.
Yeah, you'd hope. And then we'll actually be showing you the first 2 episodes of Season 4 of the Greenway Outdoors. Episode 1 will be sturgeon, and Episode 2 will be axis deer in Hawaii, which is why it makes sense that AJ and I are dressed all fly today.
I guess so.
It is. So we invite you to come join us. Please go online. Check us out on Facebook. There's an event there. Get your tickets before they sell out and join us at the event. We'd love to have you. So we did a video a couple weeks ago. This is totally switching gears. Did a video a couple weeks ago, Ryan. I don't know why I'm talking directly to you. It's like they're not even here. But we did a video featuring the bait ban in Michigan and what we thought about it. And since then, I've joined a crossbow hunters Facebook group, which is like super, super awesome. Like these people actually talk all the time, and like it's their own little community, and they invited me to come in, and some of them had seen the TV show and stuff like that. Well, I had one guy reach out to me personally, and he said that he agreed with a lot of what I said. His name's James, and his last name's, I don't want to say it wrong, but Nizzle, Nizol. So I'll be guessing. But he said, "Hi, Kyle. I watched your YouTube on baiting. I agree with most of your points on CWD. I believe we are a good state for shooting small bucks and horrible for taking mature bucks. 80% bucks are shot are just a year and a half old. At that point, they're still a dumb animal who can't really protect themselves. We are also the only state who shoots more bucks than doe. That's a big issue. Baby boomers are done hunting by 65 due to a lack of interest. Young kids just want to play video games instead of hunting. Our buck-to-doe ratio is out of whack. I would love to have APR here. We have genetics and habitat, but are sadly lacking age-class bucks. I would like to hear your thoughts on APRs. I understand we are losing hunters.
Here we go.
So I see all areas of this. Yeah, you know me. So I have an unpopular stance on this. I think we all agree on it, though, right?
For the most
I
part.
think when we talked about it, yeah, we were all.
What does that mean? You just reservations in case we get butchered alive?
No, you're much more opinionated than I am. So
Yeah.
like I'm like, yeah, I guess, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds
I also
good.
dress better. So going
Nice
into this,
plain shirt.
so
Real vanilla of you.
yeah. So James, I want to thank you for your question, and I told you that I would answer it live today. Basically, here's my thoughts on the APRs. I understand APRs. For those of you who don't know, Antler Point Restrictions, which means that you can only shoot a deer with up to 3 or 4 points on one side, and basically almost guaranteeing that you're shooting an older deer as opposed to a younger deer. And what that would do is taper off people shooting deer, bucks, and then hopefully making it so that the older bucks are growing and you're killing them later in their life.
Is that what's happening right now in real time?
Where we go, we hunt in Wexford County, so that's what you're familiar with. It happens to be in the only area in Michigan where that is the case. So Northwest Michigan, there is an APR, Antler Point Restriction, where it has to have at least 3 points on one side or more.
And the point of it is to get
Shoot.
older ones.
Yeah, for shooting higher trophy class deer.
Okay.
Now we have the genetics and stuff like that, so we should be able to do good. Breaking down James's point, when you talk about genetics, saying we have the genetics, it's not actually true. We have the genetics in some places. In Northwest Michigan, we do have the genetics. We grow big deer there, great age class bucks, and this year we had the best buck poll we've ever had. So, yes, we do have the genetics in some places. Some places like Gladwin, and I don't know why people like to argue this, that live in Gladwin, but I know one of the best hunters in the world who has tons of land there and hunts all the public land there, and the genetic, it's Scott.
Ryan? Know where NF's from?
Yeah.
Okay.
But Gladwin, for instance, has terrible genetics. There'll be tons of deer that are spikes that'll grow up be 3 or 4 years old, AJ, which, as you know, is old for a deer, and still be spikes or 4 points.
Just little things.
Yeah.
Little nubs.
And those things will continue to reproduce and pass off those genetics. And that's the problem is if you're only shooting deer that have 3 or 4 points or higher, and you're leaving all those deer with bad genetics there, so you might have a bull of a deer with terrible genetics, so he's never going to grow those, 3 or 4 on a side, and he's just going to keep reproducing and reproducing and reproducing. And the problem with that is then you're spreading those poor genetics and so on and so forth. And it's important, I think, to say that you're only shooting deer based on their antler points is not a sound science, given the fact that, like I just said about the genetics, but on top of that, different deer in different areas grow at different rates. There's 6 points that are a year and a half old as well, and so on and so forth. So it's really the maturity of the deer. On top of that, the other problem with it is the thing that I'm always worried about is 20% of hunters hunt a whole bunch, right? They're they're out there, 9-10 weekends a year and so on and so forth. About 20% of them are that level.
I would agree.
80% of them go up for 5 days a year and get that time off of work and do their best, want to go up and put out a bait pile, which is what we're talking about, hopefully shoot a deer or two, and then be able to go back home with a buck or whatever it might be. If you add the antler point restrictions in there, but don't make doe easier to get in different areas, because there's places like in Wexford County sold out this year, stuff like that, where the doe tags are actually harder to possess. You have people having less and less success now you've got antler point restrictions and a bait ban. You put both of those in place, you're making it like impossible.
When it seems like it's a black and white issue, but there is some gray area.
Right.
All of those people that are going up for that one weekend or 1 week a year, they're now
80% of them.
if they're like 50% is likely, maybe not even to get a deer, then they're not going to put that money in. And while they're only going a weekend or a week a year, they're the majority of the licenses being sold.
And if you lose the funding of the licenses being sold, you're in big trouble. And now you got a bait ban and APR. I mean, in Northwest Michigan. we talked about it. We took the kids up for the youth hunt. 2 years ago, we took the kids up. We could bait. We shot 14 deer with 16 kids or something like that.
And the population there can easily sustain that.
Oh, yeah. There's so many deer up there. It's crazy. Then the next year we go up, this year, with the bait ban, same amount of kids, shot 1 deer.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, well, they're not real hunters. Well, we have 500 acres, and we've got a blind set up in good strategic areas, and the youth season's 2 days long. So the deer go down that path or don't for 2 days. What do you want?
It's nice to know that you were a real hunter your very first time out and didn't need any coaching or little
They're
tips
not military
and tricks.
snipers, so
Yeah, sure. Sorry,
Get them out of here.
Or like somebody like saves up their money and gets a 40-acre parcel of land and like saves it up and they're all excited about it, but they're working on building beds and habitat and stuff, but they're not by cornfields or anything like that, so they're trying to build it up so it's attractive to deer, and you're like, you suck at hunting. It's like, come on, man. like it's Michigan. It's Michigan. Let's be honest, and that's the truth. Is like everybody hunts. There's very few people that are you're not like spot and stalking on state land very often. There are places in Michigan where you can totally do it, and I've done it. But for the most part, most of the hunters, especially with how many hunters go out on opening day and stuff like that, the ones that can go, it's a shooting gallery out there, and there's a million people, and or if they've got private land, they have what they have. So when you start putting bait bans and antler point restrictions on and stuff like that, I get APRs for the trophy hunter that goes, the 20% that goes all those times a year. We're in that group. However,
having said
for
that,
the 80% that fund the licenses so you have the right to hunt in the first place, that you can't get rid of those people. And you can't just have it your way because you're so cool and only shoot, 9-year-old deer that have 38 points on them. So
wasn't it voted that way though?
it was voted. The APRs are in northwest Michigan and on the Lower Peninsula, and
Only
on
in
top of that, the bait ban's in place now.
Only in select areas or the whole state?
No, the whole state, bait ban. So it's like, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
Like, so now, and we're going to see these license sales trickle off. And they're like, well, I want to shoot higher age class bucks. These people are saying, well,
Like
then
older ones?
yeah.
Okay.
They're like, okay, fine. But if you put that antler point restriction in place, you can pretty much kiss your license sales goodbye. So what's the alternative? Here's the alternative. Number one, lift the bait ban. What are you thinking? Mm-hmm. Number two, on top of lifting the bait ban, what you need to do is you need to create an earn a buck program where somebody has to go out and shoot a doe, and then they get a buck tag. Or switch to just $1 a year. Mm-hmm. If you do that, for the people that that can only shoot $1 a year, they're going to be a lot pickier. Right now, the way the license is set up, except for in Northwest Michigan, you get 2 buck tags. One has to be an APR restricted tag, and one has to be anything. It can be any size buck. So people shoot their small buck, and then they're hunting for their big one after. Well, if you made it where there was only 1 buck tag, now that's their trophy buck tag as well as their meat buck tag, so they're being really careful and more choosy. Oh, yeah. That'll help with the hunter mentality of not shooting every single buck that walks by. Because then once you shoot it, we got between October, bow season, late doe, all the way in between rifle. It's like a 3-month long thing. So if you only get 1 buck tag, you're going to be a little bit pickier. You know what I mean? So I think going to a 1 buck tag rule or an earn a buck tag rule where you got to shoot a doe in order to shoot a buck, because then it'll educate people that you have to shoot does to thin out the herd. But beyond that, if there's a ton of does in one compressed area, then the does will have less babies. If they have less babies, then there's less bucks being born. If you thin out the doe herd, they'll have 3 to 4 babies instead of 1 or 2. And then you'll have more bucks being born. And then if you manage those with an earn a buck tag or only a 1 buck a person tag, as opposed to the 2 and the antler points and all these different things, then you're going to have less bucks being killed, and the number will shift and even out over time, and you won't hurt the actual hunter retention. Therefore, that's the perfect plan, in my opinion. The perfect plan is earn a buck program where you have to shoot a doe and then a buck, or you only get 1 buck a year. Put one of those in place, lift the bait ban, you'll retain your hunters, and you'll help even out that. So I do not believe in APRs. Mm-hmm. I believe in that system. Now, I'm not saying APRs wouldn't work and you put them in place and you won't see older bucks. Of course, it's true. But at what expense, and is it sustainable over time? I don't think it is. So
were you agreeing with that guy or on the other side?
I'm on the other side.
Nice.
I'm on the other side of most hunters, though.
Yep.
Because the 20% are the vocal ones, and they all want APRs because they're the vocal ones.
And most of them are trophy hunters.
It seems like your pitch would go is better over time. You're not going to see the differences, this year, maybe over the next 3.
But you'll retain hunters.
The number, yes.
The thing is, you can't, if you do it their way, and what I'm saying happens, where you're losing hunter retention, which is obvious.
Mm-hmm.
There's no coming back from it, because right now we have to replace the 65 and olders, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we're already in a deficit, if we mess up and lose that retention group, we lose that generation.
Yeah.
It seems like they're trying to push them out faster.
It does.
Like, stop it. What are you doing?
The problem is, like, a lot of times too, and I'm not saying this about James because he wasn't that way at all. Super humble, nice guy, and nice way of stating his opinion. But I'm just saying that the overall arrogance of these really vocal groups of, like, if you're a true hunter, you don't need bait. And if you're a true hunter, antler points or this or that. It's like, stop, because it's not practical for almost anybody else. I get it, Squanto, you got it, but you're the greatest hunter alive. But it's just not practical for.
Yeah,
most people.
if any, the inclination of or the indication of so many outdoor stores closing is evidence to the decline as well.
Right, and as that's the other thing is the economy there's a really big economy. Bigger than they think, I believe.
I would agree. I didn't know about it till I joined. I'm like, okay, these people put some serious money in.
Yeah, between the guns, the ammunition, the travel expenses, the gas, the food. When we go up north, think about our snacks.
Oh, yeah.
The licenses.
That's all part of the numbers.
The licenses, the lumber used for blinds, everything. Mm-hmm. A lot of money goes into deer hunting that people don't even realize. And restaurants and food, and it's a big deal. And those small grocery stores and bait shops and stuff like that up north, they're closing down. And they're closing down because as hunters, as a community, we're doing whatever we can to make it more difficult to get new people into hunting. And then on top of that, we're mean about it.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to, if we don't get the millennials, you lose. It doesn't exist in the future. Mm-hmm. All that so you can be right, so you can shoot a 4-year-old buck one year? Come on.
There you go.
It's just not even practical.
I like it.
It's just, you have to look at the long-term effects of what you're doing.
I like that we don't have kids, but we're more concerned about the future than it seems like other people are.
You're in that age bracket.
Yeah, we're in the age, because our whole goal is to get people into hunting and fishing from the younger generation.
It'd be ignorant not to.
It does make sense that a lot of people that are into hunting and fishing don't actually like our show. It's the people that are outside the industry that have interest are the ones that's why we're the number one show on Pursuit, and it's why we'll be, I guarantee, the number one in Sportsman, because we'll bring other people in. But I don't even care if actual hunters don't like our stuff.
We don't cater to their facade.
No, we're looking at the longevity and the science.
Yep.
But anyhow, so that being said,
good talk.
Ryan and I had a crazy week with our. We had some major Mac computer issues. Calling you out, Mac.
Yeah.
What the heck, man? So we did a system update, lost a bunch of stuff, and had to start over on a bunch of stuff, and lost days of time.
I guarantee people telling the story to people that know computers, they'd be like, "I've never heard of that ever happening." I'm convinced.
Yeah, that's our luck. It was Ryan's fault. I mean, that's been obvious.
We don't have a drone.
Nice.
Back on AJ. Oh yeah, who did that? But you were saving that. You're like, let them blame this on me. It was pretty strange, though, that I went over to that other computer and it said, do you want to update this library? And I just said yes, and then it was fine.
I talked to you about this, didn't I?
You did.
I said, if there was any doubt in my mind, that was an option, I will admit to it. But, and I wish anyone else could have been in the room with me, that my only option was to click OK. I'm not kidding. If there was any doubt in my mind, I would admit to it.
Yeah.
Got it.
I think to give some backstory for people who don't know, Matt came out with a new OS operating system, and they give you the option to upgrade. Apparently, they only give you the option to upgrade. And the computer had, a terabyte on it? Mm-hmm. And it had 980 gigs on it. Which is
9.9, like 99% of a terabyte.
Yeah.
So it's got 20 gigs left, which apparently isn't enough to download the new OS. But because we'd already started the process, it couldn't go back. So then it's stuck. It can't download it, but it can't run because now it doesn't have the operating system.
They wiped my whole computer.
So we take it in, and they had to wipe the entire thing because you just couldn't start it anymore. You couldn't run it because there's no program to run it. You can't take it and use it like a hard drive and pull the stuff off because it's locked because you can't open it because you can't turn the computer on. It's like, well, we can try. It's like we need the computer now. Just wipe it.
It was awful. So we lost.
It was incredible.
Lost a lot of stuff, and because of that, it made editing extremely difficult and time crunch. But I will tell you what, Ryan, the masterpiece that is the Sturgeon episode.
It's awesome.
It was a Christmas miracle.
Have you watched it yet?
I know I've not seen it.
Have you?
I've heard it.
It's something else.
Phenomenal. Yeah. AJ was working on the graphics for all the new graphics packages, and those are phenomenal too.
Yeah.
Absolutely
I saw a lot
phenomenal.
of the raw stuff, but not,
You
didn't have
lived the raw
graphics.
stuff, dude.
Didn't have the graphics.
Yeah, you were
in
there,
it.
stupid.
Well, no, I saw like the first half of the episode with all the cuts and everything. Just didn't have.
Yeah, that's nothing. It gets way better.
The episode is
definitely
going to be on Sportsman Channel the week of January 1st.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Saturday night is our anchor slot at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'd be lying if I knew the other time slots for sure. I believe it's 8:30 a.m. on Mondays, 1 p.m. on Wednesdays, and 9:30 p.m. on Saturday nights. And then our premiere is on Friday the 3rd. So the night before the main anchor slot of that. But that is our Sturgeon episode. It is phenomenal. It is awesome, and you are going to love it. So tune in the Sportsman Channel. Check out the Greenway Outdoors there, our actual TV show. And then obviously find our podcast here on Carbon TV, as well as NRM Streamcast, YouTube, and wherever you might be listening to it, whether it's iTunes, Google Play, or Spotify, or whatever. So, Ryan, I don't know anything about this story.
Neither do I.
Sounds like a facade.
Nice.
I read it very briefly, so I'm excited that I'm the only one who knows about it.
Okay, so couple injured in a possible bobcat attack.
So this couple, which I like the couple, it's an older couple. They're doing their morning walk. They take a morning walk every day.
Every morning?
Every morning, 6:30.
like a morning walk almost.
Shut up. 6:30 a.m. every day they're out there. They're walking, and all of a sudden something jumps out of a tree and attacks the lady.
I knew it. I knew he was going to give the punch before the story. Go ahead.
Just because I tell stories different from you doesn't mean that they're wrong.
It just means
Also,
you don't.
his stories are 30 minutes shorter.
The funny thing is most of the times when I'm telling a story, he's like, "Oh, you told it wrong," and then he tells the other punchline, the other side of the story. So the whole
Still in
story's
the glory.
ruined. There's no saving it, and now that's it.
And there's still no way to correct you, but go ahead.
Or prove it.
So
Or prove it.
Bobcat jumps out of the tree, attacks the lady. She surprisingly is not that injured for, like an 85-year-old.
Yeah.
Normally, if they take a fall or something, they're breaking a hip. They're
whoa.
something, they're more fragile than the average person.
Just killing our older
So
demographics
Don't make
today.
me face that.
She bled a fair amount, but she didn't. They ended up making it. They're okay.
Did he bite her or something?
It's mostly scratched her and stuff.
Why?
So they report this, and they're like
How big is the bobcat? Like 12 pounds?
20, 25, 35 pounds.
It's a big
Something like
cat.
35
Yeah,
pounds?
it's a big cat. Not huge.
They're
but
not
pretty
typically that
good-sized
big.
cat.
You understand?
Yeah.
That's a big bobcat.
I can't. I've heard not up to 35 pounds.
No?
I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe in Florida where they tend to get bigger. I don't know.
Okay.
It's based on the article that you sent me. So
Okay, the one that I didn't read.
yeah. So she gets attacked by this bobcat. Surprisingly makes it. The funny thing that I thought of the story was they're talking about the couple, and then near the end of the article, just as like an aside, he's 71 and she's 85. It's like, wow,
That's
robbing the cradle.
Yeah.
Is it at that age, though?
It's not, but
it
I thought
becomes
that was
less
funny.
weird as you get older.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true. Like, if it would have been when he was 18, it would have been really messed up.
Yeah.
It's a different story.
It starts off as a felony and then works all the way up to, it's fine.
Oh, that's
It's
cute.
normal.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him.
So,
good for her.
so you have no other details except
That was the whole article that Ryan
the
sent me.
bobcat attacked the people. Are we even sure they're true?
I think that was the headline.
Did you vet
But
the
they weren't
story?
sure.
That's all he read, so that's all he's got.
Did you vet the story? Like, do you believe him?
I
if
found
she's
it
as
on
injured as she
several
was,
different news outlets, so I think it's a legit story.
I wonder what would lead to a bobcat attacking a human.
Yeah.
rabies.
Which
Yeah, it
the
could
weird
be
thing is
just
they're like, you
unstable.
got to keep an eye out because this animal is still out there. And then all the other experts are like, this never happens. They're very shy. They keep to themselves.
I wouldn't think they were even down
They're
there.
kind of like a lone wolf. They don't really travel in groups or anything like that, and there's no reason for them to attack.
Cool animals.
So bizarre.
I've only ever seen one briefly, and it was small.
I've never seen one.
Yeah, I did deer hunting. We have them up in Mesik.
He was standing right next to that squirrel.
Which I think
No.
was
it wasn't.
a groundhog.
Couldn't be further.
In the celebration of
When
Christmas.
you see a groundhog stand up,
Yeah.
if you don't see the tail, it can look a lot like a squirrel.
Yeah.
And they're in the same family.
You guys can all
Maybe
shut
it's just
up.
a bushy-tailed groundhog.
No, it wasn't. Anyhow,
I know what it was.
I'm not going to go into my squirrel story, but I saw the largest squirrel that ever existed.
For reference, go to see episode.
You don't know, and neither do I. All right, in the Christmas spirit, for the last 30 years, 20, no, probably
It
26.
doesn't sound good.
For the last 26 or 27 years, I thought I was allergic to eggs. And I was, because I almost died from it a few times. But I've grown out of the allergy and recently discovered that. So I've been eating eggs like every day. But beyond that, I've also discovered that now I can drink eggnog.
That was my next question.
Now, I tried eggnog this year.
The first time?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I've had it every day since.
Yeah.
The thing that I don't understand.
I love nog.
Look at him clench the table.
The thing I don't get
He's
is
getting the
he could eat like cakes and other things with egg cooked into it, but he couldn't have just egg by itself.
Well, we're taking his word.
And
Which
also,
makes no sense to
eggs
me.
and eggnog is cooked.
It's pasteurized, so it's fully cooked.
So you could have had it
But
the whole time.
I don't even know how they make it.
But I don't know that I don't know
that.
that I couldn't have had it the whole time. From what I can understand, it's melted ice cream and heaven mixed together,
Yeah.
and that's what it is. So because of that, Ryan, you had an idea. What do you want to do today?
So
Eggnog challenge?
while we were editing, we were doing the sturgeon episode. We probably went through like a gallon of eggnog, or
Well-
just the two of us.
Well, I did it custom though. I'm a noggist,
Nice.
which is like an eggnog scientist, and it's sophisticated. And I've determined up until now, because I might be proved wrong here, that if you mix Southern Comfort eggnog, non-alcoholic,
Yep.
and Dean's eggnog,
These two.
1/3 Southern Comfort, 2/3 Dean's, that's the perfect combination with Ready Whip on top.
I fully disagree. But anyways,
Mix
So
out.
because of that disagreement,
so we're doing a eggnog taste test between all of us to see what is the best.
Okay.
And so right now we just have regular Dean's Country Fresh eggnog.
First example.
So
the first-
pass it down the line.
Wait, so he's got his own custom recipe, which I don't believe because he's
No,
new
he did
to
it.
eggnog.
He did it for me.
I'm a noggist.
I know.
I am
but,
a
like, what is-
certified
what
noggist.
does he know? He's been drinking eggnog for 2 months.
Let me see. Let me see.
Do
the
you
one.
have your own idea as far as
see
what
it.
the best
You want it?
mix is?
What the mix is?
Yeah. Do you
I don't-
like
I
have your
know
own mix you do?
We're not
No,
mixing.
I
We're
don't
not
do a
mixing.
mix.
We're
not
trying
mixing.
4 different eggnogs.
And then I'll tell. Then at the end,
I'm the only noggist here.
I know what my favorite is. All right, everyone, take a sip.
Hold on. Before that, I want to let everyone know that there's 16 servings per container, which is a half gallon here, which is like
I bet we're taking a serving.
basically this little tiny swig.
Half a shot.
And in that half a cup serving,
Oh,
there's
don't.
180 calories,
Half a cup?
5
You got,
grams of
what, like
saturated
2
fat,
tablespoons here.
Maybe.
21 grams of carbs, and 20 grams of sugar. So
I need to know. I want to know, like, you're trying eggnog for the first time. What's going through your head? Like, because I know what it tastes like and it's great, but for someone that's never done it,
Dean, no, Ryan, enough with the sound effects. Dean's eggnog is fantastic. It's got a good body, but from what I've tasted out of
It's a
all the
little light.
eggnogs, I think it's pretty flat.
it's a little like
It's not enough.
It's just eggnog. There's nothing else going on flavor wise. I rated a 7.
this is
I rated it a 3.
Hold on, let's give me a pen, somebody.
okay.
Okay, here.
Just pull that out of your butt, please.
Yep. There you
All right,
go.
we don't have a pen. All right.
Use your phone.
So I rate this one a 7. AJ, what do you got?
I like a 6.2.
I got a 3.
Wow.
You get round numbers only.
6.
What'd you give it?
3.
3?
I think it's disgusting.
I feel like this is middle of the road. I'm gonna give it a 5.
I would.
I don't think you
It
can
could
rate
be a 5.
unless it's like spoiled or something. Eggnog, I don't think you can rate it below 5.
Okay.
Eggnog's great.
So out of
You're
you
not in
can't.
August.
No, I would
out
agree
of
with that.
yeah, you're obviously not in August. Out of 40, then it rated 21. So I'll keep track of Dean's. Jeffrey, you're in charge of the next one.
What do you mean 40?
Well,
Out of 10
Oh.
plus.
do we want to
times
use clean
4.
cups or do we want to use the same cups? Because we don't want
You gotta
taste
cleanse the
overlap.
palate. You can't use
Cleanse the palate.
old cups.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have like something?
Contaminate the
Are those-
Southern Comfort with the
1, 2, 3, 4.
Deans.
Okay. So next is
Never met somebody named Dean I liked. All right, hit me.
next is
Watches our show.
another kind of nog that's called holly nog, and I don't know what the difference is. But
I'm curious to what.
Yeah,
the-
what I've found myself picking it up and then not being able to commit though.
Eggnog flavored milk.
this will not open.
Eggnog
There we go.
flavored milk.
That was another
what it
thing I was
says.
reading.
Holly nog.
Shake it up a little bit.
Now it opens.
What are the black things in eggnog?
I think it's just
the
like
little
vanilla?
the little
I would
specks.
guess. Probably vanilla bean.
Yeah, vanilla bean.
What do you think eggnog tastes like?
What do you mean?
Like what is it?
You just had some.
Like
no, what are you stupid? No, like what combination of flavors is it? I don't.
Eggs and milk?
I think it's like.
No.
it's- I think it's.
Doesn't even taste like eggs.
Milk and vanilla and
I think
fat
what we're tasting
and-
is the eggs, though.
and-
Really?
yeah.
I do.
I don't taste eggs.
Plus the sugar.
Okay.
And I'm in August.
So this is Dean's Country Fresh Holly Nog.
This is the holly.
Now, are
nog.
you supposed to swallow it or spit it back in the cup?
You gotta.
It's got a full body.
You gotta get it
I think
all
you
in
actually have to spit it on the glass next to us.
He's like, hey.
No.
You don't like it?
No, I do not. What the hell is that?
there. It tastes just like regular eggnog.
No, it does not.
It tastes.
That's got a undertaste that's bad.
It's not as.
Come to think of it, I haven't met anybody
I
named
think
Holly
it's-
I like either.
honestly,
It's not
it's
as
creamy.
bad.
It's more of just like a mild. The other one that we just
I like
had.
this one better than the other one.
I hate this.
I don't
Really?
like the actual eggnog because they're trying for a flavor I don't think is good, and this is just subtle enough. It's got enough flavor that's good enough.
So this is the Dean's Holly Nog, and I don't like it.
I give this one a 5.
I would give it a 5 too.
I give it a 3.
I would give it a 6.
Okay,
I, rate
so
it
I think it's better than the last
Okay,
one.
so right, that one's in your phone, Jeff.
So
Put it on your
6, a
calculator.
5, and a
AJ, you'll get the next one.
I gave it a 5.
6, a 5, a 5, and a what?
3. I hate that
Okay.
drink,
okay.
but in a
so-
pinch, I'd have it.
in a pinch.
All right.
Okay, so next is just traditional, non-flavored Southern Comfort eggnog.
Non-flavored.
Yeah. Well, it's like just regular eggnog flavored
Okay.
because the other one is vanilla spice.
Oh, okay.
what was the score on that one?
19.
19.
Okay.
So far, regular Dean's eggnog is in the lead. Which you wouldn't have guessed based on the commentary.
For those.
Dude, I don't like Holly Nog.
I like holly nog better than the others.
I'm actually a little mad it exists. What are you
I
doing?
think this one's gonna be good.
What are you doing with Holly Nog? Why didn't you just leave what you had?
Yeah, I don't. That's just a way to make money.
But no, there's a flavor in it
I
that
bet
I
it's
don't like.
whatever's left over after
just-
making
he's like,
eggnog.
why? Give me
is
more.
holly.
Terrible flavor. I'm like, it's just
What
a
are you,
milder version of
conserving
the
this
other
one because
one.
you want to
right?
take it home? What are you doing? Why won't you give me some?
What are we
It's-
chugging
it's
it?
a good-
It's
he
just
just
a
said
flavor.
it.
Wait, how much you got? Because he's not giving me enough.
I mean, I got. It's,
I know what this one
half a
tastes.
shot.
Hey,
Stupid.
it's a high calorie drink. All right, calm
You're on
down.
You're on your third
You've
serving.
had like 3 gallons in the last month, so calm down.
All right.
He's
So
like,
this is
just give me
Southern
more.
Comfort
I just need more.
eggnog.
Southern Comfort traditional. Just drink it. This is just a taste test,
Get
not
what you
egg.
get. Enjoy it.
Oh man, that's good.
I like that he goes.
It's good body.
That's a good one.
Yeah, the Southern Comfort one. Now, here's what it is.
It's a price point too.
In the Southern Comfort one, this is all
nice.
non-alcoholic, by the way.
Creme brulee esque.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's got a cinnamon backing that is a little bit of heaven.
It's definitely there.
That Southern that one would be harder to drink
That's
a lot
spot
of,
on.
but you can taste like nutmeg, you can taste cinnamon. There's so many flavors in it beyond just eggnog.
Correct.
For
Yeah.
Southern Comfort.
I go that one, I guess. 8.
All-time favorite that's mine.
Okay, I give that one an 8. AJ, you're keeping track of this one.
Okay.
What do you give Southern Comforts?
I'm a 10. I think it's perfect.
10? Get a life.
I'm also going to give that one an 8.
So 3/8 and a 10.
Wow.
So that one puts that.
I gave it an 8 as well.
That's why there's 3 of them.
Touche.
So that's 34 out of 40 it scored, as opposed to second place, which was 21 for Dean's.
Have you ever met anyone named Southern Comfort that you don't like?
No. Nope, liked every one of those guys. No, just
Hand this one down. All right, so this is Southern Comfort Vanilla Spice. Do you want more?
Yeah, probably. I haven't ever had this. Why are you like this? Why are you the way you are?
Do they have like the quarter gallon?
All right. Vanilla Spice. Mine smells like paint.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the smell going in.
Smell the cup. It smells like paint. I think that's the cup, though. I don't think it has anything.
This tastes like Cinnabon. Don't.
What is that? What did you do to us? You put mayonnaise in it, didn't you? That tastes like
It's mayonnaise, milk, vanilla, and cinnamon.
No, it's not. You put mayonnaise in it?
I made my own and then put it in that thing.
You spiker.
I do taste a little bit of
I emptied.
mayonnaise.
A little bit of
Hit me with
crap.
some of the regular now. We got to get that out of here. Ugh.
Touche. The paint, it did smell like paint.
And mustard. Paint and mustard.
Yeah. You know, this reminds me. This was like that
Who
time.
does that?
Look, I have a.
I'll never know what that
you
one
filmed
tastes.
it. I know you did.
Yeah, because we're not already filming a live podcast. So for those of you who haven't noticed, Ryan's a bad friend.
He just spiked our drinks.
We thought we were trying an eggnog challenge. Instead, we were tasting a jerk. Dude, that tasted so bad. Oh, you documented you being.
And you mix it all together.
Good.
And, wait.
Oh.
Pour it in.
You're such a bad
It was
friend.
completely empty. I cleaned it out.
I wanted to try that one.
My
Bad
gosh.
friend. Oh, I hate everything about you.
This is like that time we're leaving a restaurant in, what was that, Miami? Mm-hmm. And then we're getting done, and you had got something on your hands. You're like, oh, and he goes, oh, you want some hand sanitizer? You're like, oh, you're the best friend ever.
I said that
Thank
too.
you so much. I appreciate it. You stick your hand out, and he squeezed, and it's shampoo.
I forgot I did that.
I
forgot about that, too.
Yeah,
You're a mean person.
That was funny, though.
I signed the check, so. By the way, can I have that back? No. Okay. So now, what is the so out of the ratings? Because there's actually only 3.
There's 3.
Now there's we can still rate the
3. Well, it was pretty simple.
Well, the one you made was a 0.
Okay. So because of that, we
didn't
wanted
like
a
it?
4th.
It can't be sold in the
Ryan, give me the Southern Comfort. I want to prove a point. Oh, here we go. I want to prove a point. Give me your best cup that didn't get disgusting from a jerk.
Oh, they already did.
I was like, why does this smell like paint?
I know. I tried to cover it up the best I could with vanilla.
Give me your cups.
Vanilla
a good
and
cup.
cinnamon. No, I'm not doing that.
I'm going to show you how it's done. 2/3 Dean's.
Oh, he's doing the mixing.
You know, there's not even enough eggnog in the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is. Who brings half full for a challenge?
Who brings mayonnaise and milk?
I sucked at everything. That's the mix right there. AJ, cup me. Give me a cup.
Yeah, what is this, 2
which cup,
servings
top-
of eggnog?
It's
Just put it
Yeah,
in
but
the
which
mix.
one? Which one was the disgusting thing?
Oh, I don't know. It don't matter.
Top or bottom? It does. I'll do a middle one because it for sure wasn't a middle one. 2 servings, 1 cup coming up.
It's a mixologist over there.
It's called a August. I forgot the term.
No cocktail.
Brian, I want to like you, but then you do stuff like this and
That was funny.
ruin our Christmas fun. You couldn't wait all day.
I couldn't wait.
Oh yeah.
That is good.
Isn't that the perfect mix? Now rate that one.
Oh my God,
Rate,
it's eggnog.
Oh my gosh, I feel like it's an unnecessary process.
Oh my God, it's
Rate
a
it.
watered down Southern Comfort
yeah.
eggnog. Oh man.
rate it, AJ.
I'd give it a 9.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
I would
Feed
have
into
gave it.
his
I would have gave it an
garbage.
8, but I already gave that an 8. So how?
And
could it
this
be
is
equal?
better. And this is better.
I'd give this
So
a
because it's
7.
mixed, it's better.
If it was my, I'd give it like
Because
8.2.
I'm perfect.
But I
give it a 4.
I had to round up.
A 4 because it's mixed with the nasty Dean's Country Fresh.
I would give it a 7 because
I think
it's
that's what
a
makes it
I think we've
watered
all
down.
learned how good you are at mixing eggnog. Okay.
Oh, I didn't mix eggnog at all. I emptied the bottle out.
So
and
what
then-
what was there like a reason behind your choice of ingredients, or just how can I make this disgusting because I'm bad to my
Well,
friends?
what's gross and what would also
You put it in there and made us believe too.
What would
Oh,
still
yeah.
kind of look like
Yes,
eggnog.
that's what
Okay.
I had to think of, something that would look like eggnog but still taste gross. And when you smelled it, I tried to. The smell used to be a lot. Like if I opened that thing, you
Yeah.
would have smelled it.
It smelled like paint. And
Yeah.
It smelled like
paint and
paint.
mustard.
I thought
That's
when
probably
I
excessive vanilla
He goes,
extract.
haha, it was lead paint. Enough to not. I just took 8 years off your life, idiots.
You ever see those commercials for mesothelioma? You got it.
Jeff was the first one to get his cup, and by this time I was already pouring it and laughing.
Yeah, but he's a garbage disposal.
Oh, well, I thought
The
he
smell was weird.
I
I
thought
like
he
how
smelled
AJ
it
goes,
and caught on.
don't you spit it out. I'm like, dude, how are you swallowing it, you sick freak?
Did you think it was real eggnog?
I did actually,
Yeah.
but just in a horrible way.
Well, the first thing that got
I thought
me
it was
wasn't
about
the flavor, it was
eggnog
the
from-
texture.
The
'Cause
smell.
it's the little chunks.
I thought it
of the
might be
mayonnaise.
eggnog from 6 years ago.
The paint was a great description.
It was like Fear Factor, where they made you eat reindeer balls from 16 years ago.
I feel like we should have learned.
Factor.
We should have learned by now. We're sitting here with cups of unidentified liquid.
Not sealed.
And you went, smells like paint. And we went, Ryan poured it. Okay.
And we just down the hatch.
He made it seem like, yeah, why didn't we?
I sold it well.
I have a tummy ache now. Like I don't think that sat well with me.
I did not. I
It's
just
all the cream.
What?
It's not. It's everything.
Yeah,
I don't think it has
it's
anything
all
to do
of
with
the
this
eggnog.
being my 5th glass of eggnog. I think it has everything to do with what you did to us.
I had to bring it because no one was drinking it once. It smelled like paint. So, and you guys, all eyes were on me. So I had to bring it to my lips. And as soon as I did, then you guys all drank.
I have a stomach ache, and I'm not happy with you. Thanks for ruining Christmas. Sorry, Jesus. Sorry your party's so lame. Ryan ruined it.
I'm just glad it was on video.
Yeah.
What a
Well,
treat.
Christmas is made.
Okay. This reminds me of a... No, it doesn't. That's not the transition I want to use.
too. The more I think about
Yeah,
it.
you feel a
So,
little... I feel not...
and
he's
result
like,
to,
also, I put something called Windex in it.
God.
Are you okay, guys?
It's got bleach in it, so it's clean.
What is that stuff that, like, kills you instantly? Drano.
Oh yeah. That's what the wives put in their husbands'
On
food.
to a better Christmas story.
Oh. Oh, that's my cue.
There you go.
That's my cue.
Thanks, Jeff. Okay, so there was this is just, reminiscing over an old hunt. I was thinking about it today, and it was probably one of the best days of my life. And I'll never forget this. I went to Christy's house in the morning, and she's got like 40 acres of property. Mm-hmm. And it was the last day of muzzleloader season for deer hunting in Michigan. And it happened to be an abnormally somewhat warm morning, where it was like 40 degrees in the morning. So I remember going, I might want to small game hunt because I've been seeing some rabbits, or I might want to deer hunt. But I know if I go rabbit hunting, I'll see deer. If I go deer hunting, I'll see rabbits, because that's how it always works. And I was like, well, I'm going to go big or go home for the last day of muzzleloader. I throw the muzzleloader over my shoulder, and I go out for a morning walk. And the
Is that
proper...
the one where you manually?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's he's talking about the muzzleloader. Yeah, it's a 50 cal muzzleloader.
Okay.
I go walking up her trail in the backyard, and it's in an open field that's like super hilly, like really tall hill. Goes back down. There's two paths, one on each side of thick brush. That's about like at this point in the year it was head high. And I took one path up the trail. So if you look at a piece of paper here,
Can you just bring a pen and like draw? Here's a pen. Draw something.
you had a pen.
The whole time.
There's pens right here.
I asked for a pen.
I didn't realize it was pens until just now.
Thanks for having my back, eggnog. God, Ryan, that was so gross. I don't feel well.
Yeah.
It's not pleasant.
He
He's like-
broke our computer and then fed us mayonnaise.
It's that mayonnaise, man.
He's like, I put laxatives in it. He would too. That
would.
wouldn't even surprise
would.
us. So
We'll all get a text later.
right.
How you guys feeling right
Do I-
now?
So this was the path. In the middle here, it's thick brush, and this is going up a steep hill. Over here was some old woods. Over here was some young woods. And then this is the path that I was taking, trying to look over on this side, because they would come out of the old woods in the morning, and then they would cross through this stuff and then go into the young woods here. So I would walk up here sneaking, because I was able to be quiet, trying to look through different holes in the brush to see if I could see them. It was about 100 yards wide. And maybe 50 yards wide. 60, 70, something like that. So I go walking along the path, and I would move up real slowly and then look if I had a path that I could see through the brush to the other side. And I'd look, nothing. And I come up to this one, and I look, and I don't see anything, and then I do like a double take, like, is a deer face looking at me? All I can see is the face staring at me. And I'm like, oh, and I hold still, and it's a doe.
Which is funny because how often are you in the woods and you look and you go, oh, is that it? No, it's a stick.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? No, it's a stump.
So I was like, oh, man. And this is like coming up right before Christmas. Muzzleloading season ends, just before Christmas. And it's kind of a neat time to be out in the woods. And basically, she's peeking through at me. And I'm looking. I was like, I can't shoot because I can't identify how big it is. And I can't see anything behind it. So I got to wait. So then she turns and starts walking along the path farther up here. So I'm like, okay. I get down on my hands and knees and crawl to here, thinking that she'll still come up to here because right around here is where they normally path over. And now that she's seen me, she probably won't walk through the brush, so I won't be able to ambush her, but I might be able to see her on the other side and get a shot at her. So I sneak over to like a hole in the brush, and I lift up my gun and wait there. And I see her come walking in, and I get a glimpse of her body through the brush, and then she comes to the opening. So all I can see is like her chest area to her head. And I don't know what I did. I was using iron sights, no scope, and it was probably about 70 yards. And all I could see was just the sternum here and up, and I knew that it was a big doe based on the size of the neck and also what I could see through the brush. And I don't think I should have done this, actually, as I've gotten older now. This is, I was like 16, 17, 18, somewhere in there. And I lift up the gun, and I don't even hesitate. I just lift up the gun, put the sights on it, and pull the trigger. And I had full-on buck fever and everything else. And as soon as I shoot, I can see there was nothing behind her. But all of a sudden, all the brush and stuff starts going commotion because there's a bunch of deer, and they're all running all over. When I shot, with a cold morning, the smoke from the gun went off, and, couldn't see nothing. So I'm like, what happened, I wonder? Yep. I see all those other deer running away and stuff. I remember thinking, what was I thinking? Like a neck shot? That's not that's not something I would normally do, especially, you know what I mean? It's like a rush thing. So I go around, and I remember I had to go all the way back around and over and then back up to her there. And as soon as I rounded out the bottom here, I was peeking around the corner to try and look. I could see her laying, 100 yards up, just dead. And I went over there, and I shot directly through here, in one side and outside the other, and it died instantly. Looked like, it only took me 2 minutes to walk around, and it was dead as a doornail right there. And it dropped. It didn't move an inch, so I shot right through the neck, put it down, in and out, outside both sides, 50 cal right through it, dead. And I remember being so relieved because I was like, that was an irresponsible thing to do. And I'm not advocating for neck-only shots at all.
Is that what was irresponsible about it?
Yeah, there's a real small target and a lot of room for if I miss
70 yards with an iron sight. That's pretty.
Yeah, it's a ballsy shot because if I only hit right here,
if what happened didn't happen, then
I could injure. There's people you take headshots and only hit them in the jaw or something, so they don't die, but you just ruined them and everything else. So it's not really I could see, like I said, about this much, and I aimed right here, so I was just an inch high, and then it worked out perfectly. But I remember getting that doe and just being so excited because it was right before Christmas. I'm like, I'm going to cook this for Christmas too. Right after I got her, I went back to the house, got my knife and the drag rope and everything like that, and came back out. And Christy and the boy,
That happened to me. I shot a rabbit out there.
Yeah, a coyote came and ravaged it.
And I went to shoot, and it hopped right when I shot, and I was aiming high because it was a little close. So I was hoping to hit it with the bottom of the spray. Instead, it hopped right into my spray and just went. Bleh. I'm like, ugh. I get over there. There's no leg anymore on the one side. I'm like, oh man, that's a lot of the good meat, Well, I can't carry it because it's all. Oh yeah. I only get blood all over
guts.
Me. So I'm like, well, we'll leave it right here in the trail, so I'll know where it is.
We'll come back in 20 minutes when we're done hunting and pick it up. Yeah. We came back 20 minutes later, and it had already been devoured.
She gone.
It wasn't just gone. There was it had been ripped apart there and ate.
Yeah.
I was like,
something was watching us.
20 minutes.
Saw me drop it and went, oh yeah.
I hope he's stupid enough to leave it. Oh, in the trail? Nice.
Nice.
So anyhow, I just remember as I go back out there to pick it up after getting the knife and stuff like that, It got a little colder, no wind though, and it just started to snow, like pretty hard, but it was pretty. Just a pretty day. Snow was coming down, dragging the deer right before Christmas. Came inside, hung it up. It's just so soothing. You know what I mean? It was just so rewarding to get all that meat right before Christmas. It's like a Christmas gift from God. It's really, really cool. Honestly, I love deer hunting, and I like duck hunting. I like deer hunting. I like everything. Ryan, stop trying to offer up your stupid eggnog that nobody wants anymore.
No, nobody
My
wants
stomach
it.
already hurts.
Every time I take a sip, I'm like, is this?
It's still a little
Okay, this is not.
But anyhow, now that you've ruined my beautiful story, it's just cool to, like, deer hunting is extra special because you get so much meat. Whereas, like, duck hunting and stuff like that is so cool. You get a couple meals and this and that on a trip out. But deer hunting, it's like you get a 3-4 deer, you're eating meat for a year.
Easily.
And that's pretty cool.
So that's cool.
So-
Ryan, you had another story?
Especially when you shoot him in the neck.
With a muzzle.
Yeah, I did high neck, too. I was able to get the neck roast out because it was through and through right here. That's it.
When I think
Big
muzzle
hole,
loader,
punched a hole.
I think like Civil War gun of like where the barrel comes out and then
You're not far off, though.
Is that what it still looks like?
That's
I
what
don't
I
know.
pictured when he said the smoke. I pictured like a big.
I'm picturing the barrel
He's in-
coming out.
he's
in the outfit and everything.
Yeah.
You're not that far gone.
Is that how it still is?
Yeah, like you have
Basically.
to. So basically, they've got some updated ones
It's innovated.
where they basically you get a primer, which is like a little puncher that sparks.
Mm-hmm.
You put that in a little hole and then close it. Well, you do that last. Actually, don't do that first. But you take the gunpowder and you can drop pellets of gunpowder in. Now this is just the one I use, not everybody's. You drop 2 pellets of gunpowder in.
Okay.
Then you take a bullet and you put it at the top, and it
Is
doesn't.
it just like a ball or like a bullet?
No, it's like a bullet, but with no backing.
Okay.
So it's just the copper part. And then you have to take that, and it doesn't really fit. So you have to jam it all the way down with a stick, all the way to the gunpowder, and get it all the way to where the gunpowder is. Then you take the ramrod out every time, and you put the ramrod up underneath.
It's not a spear gun.
I did that one time.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's the only time I ever scoped myself. Yeah.
Is that where it
You scoped yourself and shot
This is when I was a kid.
the rod out of the gun.
That's why I scoped myself, because it kicked. Muzzleloaders don't really kick that much, but I'll tell that story in a second. So hold on. Going back. So it's a really dumb story, but as a kid. So anyhow.
Learning experience.
Yeah. So you take the ramrod out, and then you open up the gun, and there's a little break thing where you can put the primer, and then you close that. You get one shot with it.
Yep.
And it's good to like 100 yards, maybe 150 if you got a scope, but that's pushing it. And then it starts to drop off fast because it's only got so much power, you know? And that's how it works. The weird thing about a muzzleloader is when you pull the trigger on a gun, it goes off instantly, right? With a muzzleloader, you go click, boom.
Really?
So it's
delayed.
really hard not to flinch because you're like,
When is it?
it's like another you know. So anyhow, that's how they work. But it creates an interesting dynamic with the way they work. Now, there's a season for that in Michigan because it's you can't. It's a lot harder to shoot a deer. Your range goes down quite a bit, so on and so forth. You know, in rifle zones up north, you can shoot 400 yards if you're good.
Oh, yeah.
So it kind of condenses that, and then the 450 Bushmaster. Can be used during muzzleloading season, and that's a single shot gun. I guess is it a single shot gun? I don't know. The 450 is a single shot gun.
I mean, it has a clip.
I know that
but it's
the ammunition.
manually.
The ammunition fits all the qualifications that make it okay to use it, and it's a really high powered round. And it works really, really well, and you can shoot deer out to 200, 250 yards.
Okay.
And that's good for the southern Michigan area, and it's also good for the muzzleloading season. So a lot of people really... wait, I don't know. I could be completely wrong.
I don't think
I
you're
know.
wrong.
I for sure know you can use it in the
In the
southern
south
part
zone,
of
but I don't think I'm right
Michigan
about
for
the muzzleloader.
Shotgun.
I'm wrong about the muzzleloader part. I'm wrong, I think.
Yeah.
I don't.
I think I am wrung.
Because there's certain counties that it's allowed in.
Yeah, but in southern Michigan, you're allowed to use it. I believe because there it's a shotgun zone, so you're able to use it in the shotgun zone. But where normally you can only use muzzleloaders or shotguns, which is why I think it confused me that there you can use the 450 Bushmaster, where it's like getting to use a rifle basically.
In southern?
Because it fits all the qualifications. I know that because you get it at Rays, and that's why you're able to use it. But I don't know if you can use a 450 Bushmaster during muzzleloading. I don't think you can. I think I was dumb in front of everyone.
I disagree.
Regardless, I know for sure that you can use the 450 Bushmaster in the southern zone in Michigan, and that's why it became real popular, because it gave you outstanding reach, but fits all the qualifications for the fact that you have to use a shotgun or muzzleloader in the southern zone. That kind of opened it up so people had a little bit stronger gun that they could use at different ranges, which is pretty cool.
I learned something.
Yeah. But with that being said, I want to remind you all again about our Wild Game Dinner. It is January 3rd, and it is at the 242 Church in Brighton. Get your tickets. We're going to have an amazing menu, amazing food, an amazing time. You can see the first 2 episodes of the Greenway Outdoors TV show on Sportsman Channel. They're live. Mr. Bill Putman will be giving a speech, and that'll be pretty awesome as well. Did you look it up?
I found for sure that you can use it in the southern part of Michigan, but I didn't find anything.
Yeah.
I'm not going to. We're almost done. So.
Yeah, but that's okay. But thank you so much for tuning into the Greenway Outdoors. Don't use a 450 during muzzleloading season because I said only use it in the southern zone of Michigan. My apologies for saying
Read the fine print.
Read the fine print. Check your regulations. But honestly, why do they have to make it so difficult?
Yeah.
That's
why?
a good point.
I shouldn't be having this kind of difficulty.
That's why you just call the DNR. Just call them.
They don't
and ask.
I'm not going to.
Thank you so much for tuning into the Greenway Outdoors. Stay green.
We hope you enjoyed this week's episode of the Greenway Outdoors. Check us out on NRM Streamcast, YouTube, Carbon TV, and everywhere podcasts can be found. Please submit all show ideas to thegreenwayoutdoors@gmail.com. See you next week. Stay green.